My name is Zay Lewis. I got a new song out. It's called Lightspeed, and it goes something like this. Nostra Nav to the village, ride the A like it's my whip.
Nostra Nav to the village, ride the A like it's my whip.
Bending blocks, parking lots, garlic knots from the spot, dirty cops, passing lots.
Now and then, pad and pan, us and them, clashing man, mix it up, nip and tuck, stem and bud, click and send. Lightspeed, how my life be. Plus 10 is she wifey. Plus 10 you invite me. Look good so I club free.
Roll dice, roll splice, Szechuan with that
good rice.
No name on the guest list cause they know my face when it's on site.
Hey, what's up New York? My name is Zay Lewis. We're on the corner of Flatbush and Lafayette right now in downtown Brooklyn. Brooklyn vibes are nice, man. It's warmer than it usually is. People out skateboarding, walking with the kids and stuff. It's nice to see. I grew up in Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri. And I moved around a lot because my dad was always chasing different jobs, or going to different jobs. So I lived in Missouri, I lived in Kansas, I lived in Ohio, I lived in Illinois, and now I'm here in New York. My family's been in New York for 3 generations though, so it kind of felt right to come back here, of all places. Actually, I've lived so many places, like the only place that's constant location-wise for me in my life has been New York. Every year of my life I've been in New York at least once. So the city means a lot to me. I'm really happy to be here. My mom's family's from Bed-Stuy. My dad's family grew up in Williamsburg. One of my aunties helped raise Mos Def and Talib Kweli. So like it's really like interwoven into my family, musicality, the arts. My mom was a dancer. So it feels like the right thing to be doing, you know, it feels natural. I started playing music for real when I was 10 years old. I joined my school's band. And I continued with that for a couple years, but I didn't start hip hop until I was 15. I didn't start hip hop until I was 15. And the way that happened, I was coming back from a marching band competition, and there was a bunch of kids like freestyling on the back of the bus, like, you know, over an iPhone, just like that little tinny like speaker. And I joined in because it was like, why not? And they were like, yo, you're actually really good at this. You should do it for real. And I was like, okay, bet. So I was like, all right, I need beats. So I went to this rap group that was in my high school, and they'd had a couple bigger features, like with people like Saba and Mick Jenkins, who are like big Chicago rappers. And they were like $250 for a beat. And like I was in high school, like $250 was like a ton of money. I was like, I can't do that. But then I was like, I know how to read music. Why would I not just like make my own beats? So I skipped my prom that year to help pay for an MPC, and my other friend helped me pay for other equipment slowly. And we just started learning how to produce, and I've been like in love with it ever since. It was my junior prom though, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't the worst thing in the world. And I felt like I was onto something. Like it felt like I needed to be doing this. I don't know how else to explain it. I'm really excited. It's this song called Lightspeed. It's 2 minutes, really high energy. It's about to come with some crazy visuals. And it's really supposed to capture just like the speed of life these days and just kind of the non-stop feeling. And in that way, it's a little melancholy because it feels like things never slow down sometimes, you know? The way, like, the cadence of the first verse, the way it came to me, I was actually riding the A train. I can't remember if I was riding from Nostrand Ave to the Village or if I was riding from the Village to Nostrand Ave, but I was just looking out the window and the lights were just pulsing fast. And I was like, it had a cadence to it. And I was like, bending blocks, parking lots, garlic knots from the spot, you know, and it just kind of like, it came about that way. The world that you see in Lower Manhattan is kind of bleeding out into these residential areas where people have been living for so long, and kind of just like homogenizing the city, which like I feel like one of the most beautiful things about the city is like the diversity of experiences and cultures and neighborhoods. So seeing that kind of get erased is also kind of sad. My dad's mother bought a brownstone. I think it's on Green. And like, you know, it was in the family for a long time, but because of complicating circumstances, like they ended up selling it a while back. And like, I'm sure it's like, you know, owned by like some up and coming exec or something worth like $1 million now. So yeah, just like, that's something like I've started to become more and more passionate about, is like thinking about bringing light to the fact that like a lot of these changes aren't voluntary on both sides. There's varying levels of transparency in terms of like when I address those things, but even Lightspeed, which was like very much so intended to be like a hype song you can party to, like I'm trying to get at like the nauseating speed of modernity and addressing the fact that like I feel like everyone is feeling some level of anxiety from the speed that life is moving at, you know what I mean? So it's like even when I'm making hype party music, like I'm thinking about these deeper issues, and like it's nice because you can choose to listen to the deeper meanings or you can just dance, you know, like Andre 3000 said, like, you don't want to hear me, you just want to dance, you know? And that's cool too, you can do that. So yeah, that's what I try to do with my music. Man, like honestly, you know, I have like big aspirations, but end of the day, like the most important thing for me, like musically, personally, is that I'll be able to make music and continue making music because of my music, if that makes any sense. Like, I want to be self-sustained off of my music and just continue to be creative, because like I feel like that's my purpose in life. I want to say what's up to all my boys in No Coast. I want to say what's up to Ezra out in Oakland, California. I want to say what's up to all my family in Brooklyn and my parents back home. Much love and peace.
Rainbow Car Service, Mr. Printer, Borda Bitatonic.